Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Respect the Grind with Stefan Aarnio. This is the show where we interview people who have achieved mastery and freedom through discipline. We interview entrepreneurs, athletes, authors, artists, real estate investors, anyone who's achieved mastery, and examine what it took to get there. Today on the show, we got my man, Ryan White. Now, he's my new friend. I just met him right now, but man, I'm excited. You ladies at home, ladies and gents, should buckle up for Ryan White because you know what? From what he's told me already, this man is the real deal. Ryan White from small town Georgia, 3,300 people in his little town, social media marketing guru, grew his little agency to a multiple seven-figure. Respect for that, brother. Over 600 clients. He's white labeling. He's doing all sorts of gangster stuff in the space. And, you know, he doesn't specialize in anything. He doesn't take a piece of the pie. He's the super pie. And in his own words, he says he owns it all. So here we go, Ryan. Welcome to the show. Respect the Grind, bro. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. Welcome.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm stoked to get this thing kicked off.
I'm very excited. I made you wait a little bit. I'm sorry. But we're going to have a great show. Now, Ryan, for the people at home who don't know you, let's tell them a little bit in your own words. You know, how'd you get started in this thing? Who's Ryan White? You know, some people at home are like, man, that intro probably sounded pretty good. Probably bullshit, right? Everyone says, I don't believe what I hear on the internet. So, you know, in your own words, tell us how you got started in this thing. You know, how did Ryan White get started?
Yeah, man, for sure. So it all starts back, again, small town. I come from a baseball family, right? So
you look baseball, man. You look baseball.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's actually a compliment.
He's got some arms, man. He's got some arms.
I appreciate it. So, you know, oddly enough, like my entire family, you know, played college ball. My dad played a little semi-pro. He was actually my high school baseball coach. So, you know, from the time I was able to walk, I was a bat and ball. And that's mostly how my name kind of got out there, was through the baseball world, right? So I went to Carson University in Jefferson City, Tennessee, on a baseball scholarship. When I got done with that, I graduated 2012 with a bachelor's in accounting. Did that for 2 years, absolutely hated it. Realized that I was not going to be a pencil pusher for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And so I decided to move back to Georgia, get back to my roots. I got extended an opportunity to get back into the baseball world as a private baseball instructor and coach, where I had 30, 40, even sometimes, you know, 50 kids a week that would come in and train with me there in Warner Robins, Georgia. So from 2013 to 2017, I was back into baseball, helping kids basically develop their skill sets, getting, you know, kids to the next level, you know, collegiately, professionally, and naturally, being the youngest guy in this organization called 5-Star National, they put me over their social media marketing campaign. And so this was kind of, you know, I had the marketing, you know, bachelor's degree, so I had the background. I'd always had an interest in computers and social media. Now this was my opportunity to kind of get my hands wet, right? So I started playing around with this stuff, and then what I realized was I was able to generate quite and impressive, you know, results for them over the year that I took it over. And to give you an idea, you know, we had like obviously Fan Gear, a store, right? And so the first year, without me kind of getting involved, they did $37,000 in revenue. Okay, the next year after I had taken it over, they did over $120,000 in revenue.
That was with your social media magic. So you brought your social media magic.
That was me taking everything over. Yes.
Okay. And then what the next year do?
So then the next thing, you know, wheels start turning now, okay? So I'm starting to think, okay, number one, if I can do this for them, why can't I do it for me? And then I met my fiance, which, shout out to her. We get married not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
I'm gonging that, bro.
Yes, sir.
For the marriage. First gong for getting married. Good for you.
Let's go. Matter of fact, brother, this is the last show I'm doing for the next 30 days, but I wanted to get on the Respect the Grind audience.
We're double gong, man. Damn. Oh, my God. You know what? I got to say this, man. Good for you. How old are you?
28 years old, man.
28, man. I was engaged. I was 27. My little thing fell apart. But hey, dude, you know what? That's awesome. And the key is any idiot can get married. Staying married is the tough part. So buckle up, Bronco. You're going to ride that thing. Good for you, man. I really appreciate that. And getting married is a lost art these days. People don't do it as much. So I appreciate you. And yeah, man, I actually just wrote this book here, Hard Times Create Strong Men. And that's one thing I say in the book is, you know, it's all about being a man, a strong man. I said, you know, real men get married. So they marry a woman usually too, by the way.
There you go.
So, you know, you can marry whatever you want, but, you know, that's good for you, man. So tell me, you're getting married. So then what's the next thing for you, man? You got this successful agency. How'd you end up with a successful agency?
Yeah. So kind of just moving a little bit more into the depth on that story. again, so I started thinking when I met her, I started, asking myself, okay, how do I get from trading my time each week, right, doing the lessons? How do I move into more recurring passive income? And so I'm
Now,
starting to play with this.
okay, I like this, dude. I'm going to dig in on this for a minute. Ryan, I'm digging in on that. Because you know what I love? I always say this, married men with kids outperform. And you know what? This is actually, I'll get even deeper. It's usually Christian married men with kids outperform everybody else in the database. Like I do a training company. We do real estate investing. So top 3% of my clients are married Christian men with kids. Big surprise. They outperform everybody else combined.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Well, it's crazy because I saw about some of my content that went on Instagram passively the other day, and I was talking about how married men with kids just smash everybody else. Now, single guy with kids, he's out having some beer, he's out looking at some porno, he's got like 2 girlfriends, or he's gambling or whatever, he's in his vices. And as soon as the guy gets married, he's got, especially kids, it's interesting how the girlfriend woke you up and you're like, shit, bro, I need passive income now. You switched from like a hustler mindset to like a wealth mindset because the woman inspired you. And people go, oh man, it's expensive having a girlfriend. It's expensive having women. But I think the woman who loves you, the right woman, is going to amp you up to levels. Like, she should multiply you by 10 of what you were before. So it's
100%,
incredible, man. I'm gonging that. I'm gonging
100%. I couldn't have said it better myself, my man.
Ooh, my man. So she's inspiring you. This woman that's in the book here, Hard Times, is called The Battery Effect, and it's vibing you up, and you're vibing up, and now you're looking for passive income. So tell me, where does Ryan White go next?
Yes, sir. So I'm starting to play with this idea, man, and very early on. Matter of fact, if you check out my fiance, you'll understand it too. But I knew very early on.
I know you can sell, so she's for sure pretty. I know you can sell. I can hear it in your voice.
I appreciate that, man. My fiance says, she's like, how do you close every single deal, that you talk to or get into? And that's just her. Again, that shows you how strong the support system is here in the White House. Okay.
Damn.
And so, but anyway, moving forward, I knew very early on that she was going to be around a lot longer than most, right? I knew this was real. And so I started thinking, okay, kids, one day, do I want to be the father who is throwing baseballs when they're coming home from school, right? So my only free time is when my kids are in school. When they're out of school, daddy's working. And I didn't, being a Christian, because I am, from the South.
Oh, a Christian too.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
What do you mean I'm gonging that? Oh, damn. What
So
do you mean a white single man with kids? Oh my, or white married man with kids. What do you mean he's producing so much? Oh my goodness. Oh, what do you mean Hard Times has the formula? What do you mean? Oh my God. All right, keep going, brother. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know shit about you, but I'm hearing all the clues. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's probably fucking killing, man. Okay, anyways, keep going.
So check it out, man. So I'm like, okay, well, again, the way, and then, some of the best memories of my life growing up was me and my father right on a baseball field, him always being there, coaching my little league team. So I started to develop this mindset. I don't want to be so busy where I can't have the opportunity or the time freedom to coach my kids, little league team if he chooses to pursue baseball. So it was kind of a mix between, okay, number one, how long is my shoulder going to last, right? I can't be 50 years old throwing baseballs, hustling, grinding. Right. Now I can make 6 figures a year, but I don't have the time to spend the money because I'm spending so much hours in the cage throwing baseballs. When am I going to have time to go out and spend time with my kids or spend my money?
Ryan, how long does a guy's shoulder last? 5 years?
Oddly enough, which is still astonishing to me. We have a guy in the academy, named Britt Dobbs. Shout out to Britt if he's listening to this. Guy is he may be 50 years old. I think when I left in 2017, he was like 49. So he may be 50 years old, still throwing baseballs. And
holy shit. But pro baseball? We talking pro baseball? We talking baseball like against the garage?
I'm talking about like BP. I'm talking like BP in there to his hitting lessons. That's what I'm talking. But now you got to consider if he's doing 10 kids a night for 5 nights a week. Okay, how many baseballs is he throwing?
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
And he threw me batting practice when I was 10 years old. So he's been throwing baseballs at least for 18 years.
Wow, man.
That's
okay,
crazy.
so you're looking at, you're like, you got a lifespan as a pro athlete. So what's the next step? I mean, I love putting this together with you because I love hearing the young man put it together. Man, I got to get out of this because a lot of people, they don't think and grow rich like you are. They're out there hustling, I always say my parents, I love my parents, but my mother's a teacher and she just would teach more to get more money. And my dad's
both my parents are educators.
He would drive more, right? So it's like, dude, it's just they work more. And, for a lot of years, I would just work harder. So it's like you can't just work harder. So what do you do?
Exactly. So kind of moving through this process, right? Everything's starting to manifest now. Okay. I was going literally to a dentist appointment on a Tuesday afternoon. I remember like it was yesterday. And I said, I want to do something more passively. I'm good at social media. I'm interested in social media. I
Mm-hmm.
want to do this for me. I don't want to trade my time for money anymore. Okay. So I started when I would get done with my lessons from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. I would eat dinner, and spend some time with at the time my girlfriend, right? And then from 10 o'clock to literally 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, she still remembers these nights. I'm going home. I'm researching basically everything I can about influencer marketing, social media growth. I'm studying the
How
greats,
old are
the
you,
people.
bro? How old are you at this point?
At this point, I'm probably so this is 2017, so I'm 26, 27 ish.
Bro, this, it's funny. I hear this story. It sounds exactly like my story, except it's real estate investing.
There
So,
you go.
okay. So you're like up, you're sacrificing your sleep, you're studying. How much money
Everything.
you spend on your education at this point? You probably dropped a ton of coin.
Oh my goodness, dude. So I mean, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, dude, I went $40,000 to $50,000 in student loan debt because
Oh,
where I played baseball at Carson Newman, there's a private university.
yeah,
So
bro.
it's,
It's
it's
not
a
cheap.
private school. It's
It's
not
not
cheap.
cheap.
It's
It's
like
not cheap.
$20,000 a year to go there.
Yeah, well, bro, that's like actually kind of cheap for America because those degrees are like 150 G's in some of these fucking schools, and I think it's a ripoff.
It is.
I opened up my company here. It's Black Card University, and it's 150 G's over 5 years, but we'll make you a fucking millionaire or close to it with real estate investing, selling, and coaching. But guess what? It's competing with the university. We're not official university, but I'm going against the universities now, and I'm attacking them as an education person because I think the universities are done. And you spent 50 G's, and you're what, an accountant in a basement counting beans for a living and getting
Hated
taxed,
it, man.
bro. I mean, it's the most brutal trade. It's actually legal slavery, man. I mean, they put you in all that student debt. You can't bankrupt out of it. That's like some bondage, and then they tax the shit out of you when you go up in income. Whereas
I
you're a
know.
business owner now,
Exactly.
I don't pay like hardly any tax, like compared to what workers pay. I think my employees pay more than me.
I can believe that. I can definitely
It's
believe that.
crazy, man. It's crazy. Anyways, so you're 26. You're dropping coin. You said you got some student debt, but how much you spend on your real education to know what you know?
So
The
that's what's
real
funny,
one.
man. Being a grinder and a hustler, I actually started this company with $2,500 because again,
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
making 50, 60 grand a year at the time that I'm a baseball instructor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have a ton. Matter of fact, I mean, I remember when I got my first $10,000 saved up. I thought
Yeah.
I was on top of the world, so I didn't have a ton of money. And going back to the fact that both my parents, have been working as educators for the state for the last 30 years. They're
Yeah.
54, 55 years old, still working. Matter of fact, my dad
Ooh.
retired from the state of Georgia, moved to Florida, and is now still teaching at a private school to earn
Holy
even more money.
shit. Totally. Well, he's just
So
getting by. He's just getting by.
yeah, exactly. So, and, and,
Yeah.
and I remember growing up, we lived a lot on credit cards because travel baseball was just getting started and it was very
Yeah.
expensive to
Oh,
travel
it's
around,
totally expensive.
hotels and all that sort of stuff. And so I just remember so at a very early age, man, 10 years old when travel ball kind of got started for me, I knew I wanted to be the CEO of a company one day. I knew I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
in the South, the threshold kind of for financial wealth was like $100,000 a year. So I remember at 10 years
I'm
old, all I
gonging
knew,
that, bro. 100 G's. That's it. That's all you need.
that's it, baby. That's
You
what
get
I
yourself
thought.
a
If I can,
trailer, bro. Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm like, man, if I can get to $100,000 a year,
You're
I've
the
made it.
king. You're the
Yeah,
king, man. You're Kid
people,
Rock.
people will see me as financially successful. So
Oh man,
as
I love
early
this
as
story.
10 years old, man, I knew I would make six figures one day. That was everything. I didn't know how, and I feel like that's what draws a lot of people, or puts them on hold, is because sometimes, we feel like we got to have this perfect A to Z strategy before we can get started with something, right?
Ryan, I got to
Whether we,
level with you, man. I got to level with you right now. I love you. I'm from Winnipeg. Do you even know where Winnipeg is?
dude, I don't even know where Winnipeg is, man.
Winnipeg's in Canada. It's like if you go to Dallas and drive straight north, you end up in Winnipeg. So if you go to Kansas City, you go straight
Ah,
north, you end up in Winnipeg. You go to Fargo,
okay.
North Dakota, straight north, you're in Winnipeg. Fargo and Winnipeg are on the same street. It's called Pembina Highway,
That's
which ends
cool.
up in fucking Dallas. So if you go to Dallas and Winnipeg are on the same street. You don't even have to turn. So,
Wow.
anyways, it's pretty funny because Winnipeg is the murder capital of Canada. And Winnipeg, like I flip houses here or used to flip a lot of houses. Now I do other stuff that's related to real estate, but people would burn down my flips And it was like Detroit. They'd break in and steal your cabinets, and we had like dead bodies in some of the houses. We had 129 cats in one of the houses. Like it's fucking crazy.
That is
So
crazy.
I know, man. It's hardcore. And people are like, what do you mean? Like I go to South Side Chicago, which is like supposed to be the murder central of America. And I'm like, dude, this isn't even like North End Winnipeg. Way scarier, man. Like, we don't even have guns like you guys have. So, anyways, bro, you're talking about the 100 G's. And I'm like, man, the 100 G's. You could be king of Winnipeg with 100 G's. Average Winnipegger can make $35,000. Okay, 35 motherfucking $1,000. That's it. Average home, 70,000 household income, and the average home in Winnipeg is 320 or something. So it's like a total value town. Now, where you live in Georgia, right?
Exactly.
What's the average home in Atlanta? In Atlanta, what's the average home in Atlanta? Is it 200, 250? You know the median?
Well, I'll even take it a step further, okay? Because I've only been in Atlanta since June of 2018.
Oh, so you moved in. Yeah, you moved into the big city.
Go look on a map when we get done. Okay, my hometown is Lakeland, Georgia. That's not Lakeland, Florida. That's Lakeland, Georgia.
Dude, is it even on the map?
You're going to have to do some research, okay? But when you find it, my graduating high school class had 92 kids, which gives me the honor to say I was the salutatorian of the class of 2008.
What's a salutatorian?
That would mean I was number 2. So I lost the valedictorian by 0.17 of a point. And Danny Burrow, if you're listening in on this, I haven't forgot about it, brother. Now I'm a millionaire.
You know what? Hey, I'm gonging that. And you know what else says about valedictorians? They typically don't become very successful because they're not very creative. So if you're number 2, bro, you're better off that than being number 1. You don't want to be valedictorian. Fuck that. Okay.
There you go.
So good for you, man. It's funny. I in high school, I think we had we had 1,000 people in that school, I think. So we had a 200 or 250 person class. Now in Winnipeg, that's a big deal. But yeah, I remember my girlfriend at the time, she was number 2 in marks in the school. And I was thinking, yeah, number 2 is okay. Why not? And I was the guy who just hung on to 80s, man. If I just make sure I got an 80, I was cool. I didn't read any of the stuff, and I'd show up to class and listen. But man, I love that. Me and you are kindred spirits. I started my business with $1,200. You started with $2,500. We're the same, man. Okay, so what happened next in the story, Ryan? I want to get to the part where you're the super successful guy. How did it change?
For sure. So I'm coming home after lessons, right? I'm grinding through this research and studying the people who are already sitting in the seat that I want to sit in. And basically, I kind of trialed and errored my way across something, that was growing my personal Instagram account, 10,000 new followers per month. So back 2 years ago.
Okay, hold on. Is this follow for follow? Is it organic? How are you getting 10,000? This is 2 years ago, so it's different algorithms.
It was different. Yeah. So basically, it's just, I was a baseball guy, so it was basically identifying where are the people who would be interested in my content at the time I'm putting out baseball specific content.
Right. So was that hashtags? You're doing hashtag baseball and you go.
It's basically it's a little more like going after at MLB, Major League Baseball, the people following that account, going to Bryce Harper, the people following him, Mike Trout, the people following him, and engaging and interacting with the people who are following those individuals and Major League Baseball, because we know they have an interest in baseball, right? So if I can bring awareness of my account to them and get them back on my page, there would be an instant connection and conversions would take place.
Right. Okay. You know what I love? And I'm going to pause this for a sec because people get fucked up when they hear what you said. Okay. So a lot of people at home, they hear that and they're like, man, I can't deal with what he just said to me. He said conversion. I stopped listening. Here's the thing. I want to make it basic for people at home. Okay. It's easy. You want to catch a fish. Where do you go? Where the fish are. Some people say the ocean. Well, you go to the ocean, you cast your line. Well, you're going to wait a long time. You go to a lake, you cast your line. You're going to wait a long time. There's a lot of water, not a lot of fish. How about a stream or a river? Well, guess what? That's pretty hard to catch a fucking fish. If you want to catch a fish, you go to the fish farm where the fish are right there and they're programmed to come to the top. And when there's boots walking by the edge, they all come up to eat. And you got to pay some money to get the fish farm, but you will for sure get a fish over there. So what you're doing is a fish farm strategy where you're going to wherever these fish are in the farm and you're just grabbing them with probably, what was your message? What was the main message that would get people hot about your thing?
Basically just saying, hey man, I've worked with thousands of students, training them from 11 different states.
Baseball students? Baseball.
Yeah. Baseball.
Okay.
This time.
You know what's funny, dude? I was a guitar teacher. I was a musician and I had a guitar teaching business. You got a fucking baseball business. I think you're the same person, bro.
That's it.
We're gonging it. You're my twin, man. You're my.
Have you taken a personality test? What's your personality? I'm a commander. I'm a commander.
For which thing? Which thing?
The
Oh, is that
16.
for? Oh, that's for a
16.
Myers-Briggs. I've come out as that before. It's like That's like an ENTJ or something.
That's it.
There you go. Yeah, I've
That's
come
me.
out. I'm actually a little more fucked than that. I'm balanced and balanced. So it's like some chameleon shit. But yeah, that can fall into ENTJ. I just had some people outside tell me they didn't like me today. 3 of them right now, and I said I don't care. So guess what? It's commander shit, dude. I've been.
Listen, man.
That's like Steve
You know how
Jobs.
hard it is to get married as a commander, brother? Hit the gong, man. I'm getting married.
I'm giving you a gong. Multi-gong for trying to get married. So you must have the nicest girl who's like you're the asshole, and then she's like, I'm so sorry he was mean, and she brings over cookies. She's like, he's actually a really nice guy, and he's very sensitive, and he loves you, and she's like a little teacher or a nurse or a Bambi or something, and you're just a fucking savage out there just killing everybody. Is that what that relationship's like?
Let's just say she's a little more in touch with her emotional side than I am.
Of course. So you need the opposite. So what does she do?
So she's actually a digital influencer as well. So she actually just became a Bang Energy model for
of course, Bang Energy. So hold on, can you put a picture of her up? Because I know some Bang Energy girls.
How can I get a picture?
Just put it up on your phone. Just put it on your phone and just hold it to the screen. Because Bang Energy, like I'd follow, oh man, what was her name? Leanna Bartlett from the Ukraine, who doesn't even speak English, but she's doing Bang Energy every 2 seconds.
What?
And I'd look at her and I'd be like, what is going on? It's just no English, girl in a bikini, Ukraine, no English.
That's it.
Bang Energy, and she dressed like a kitty cat or something. And I'm just like, why? I'd look at it and I'd push like every time, but I'd say, why is this in my feed? I push like, and then it will only give me Leanna Bartlett. So
that's it.
We're going to pause the show. Oh, can you zoom in a bit? I mean, that's a little bit. Is that her?
Let me get my. What if I get my? Let me get my screen up here so I can see what I'm showing you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, we could try. I mean,
Here we go.
Oh yeah, there you go. So is that you and her?
That's it. Hang on.
Wow. Oh, see, she looks. I can't really tell. Oh my goodness. Okay, bro, put that away. I shouldn't be looking at that. It's a married man over here. Is that you and her?
That's it, man.
Damn, bro.
She's beautiful,
I'm gonna give her a gong. That's a beautiful woman.
There you
go. Crazy, man. Good for you. And the Bang Energy girls only come in one shape, and she's the one shape. So good for you, buddy. I mean, that's amazing. And so her personality though, is she's probably like a nicer, more mild personality, because if you had another commander, you'd probably kill each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that wouldn't work. So with her, here's the reality. She's a lot more in touch with her emotional side. So she helps me become a better version of me. But at the same time, now again, did you see the little Latina in there? Okay, so she's spicy when she wants to be spicy. Exactly.
Did we both say spicy at the same time, bro? Oh my God! Oh my God! What's going on?
Exactly.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Exactly. But the point is, she has a backbone, right? So there will be a time and a point where she won't let you just run all over. You know what I mean? And I love that. Us commanders.
Of course. Well, that's the part that gets you really excited, because say that to me again. Nobody says that to me. Yeah, I know, man. I know exactly the feeling. I know that exact type of girl because I've dated several of those. So let me ask you this with her, personality-wise, though, would you say she's like kind of like the yin to your yang, like kind of an opposite? Or are you guys like kind of like an equal thing, or is it like it's not a reversal, bro? Because you're pretty alpha, so there's no way that. I don't think she's the alpha.
No, she's not. She. How can I say this politically correct?
I don't care if it's politically correct. That's a different show. You go on political correct.
She listens to all my shows, so I have to construe.
Oh damn!
Right way. I have to present
she's amazing. I'm sure.
She's great, man. She's the support system when I need it.
That's
matter of fact,
I was looking for.
There you go. There's no doubt that I wouldn't be here if I didn't have her in my life 100%.
Dude,
I will say that.
I want to get really nerdy for a second. It's almost like World of Warcraft or Dungeons and Dragons. You're out there the warrior. She's the healer. You need a healer.
There you go.
Because you can't take all the hits without a healer. So,
sure.
So awesome. So got the girl. How do we get to the agency here, man? Like, let's bridge the gap here. So you're a baseball teacher. You're freaking teaching baseball on freaking Instagram, which I think is freaking crazy. Because whether you guys fly to you or they buy your course or what's going on.
So Again, so there's kind of two segments to the baseball side. So,
Right.
as far as the instruction, it was localized around Warner Robins, Georgia, which actually is
Okay.
the southeastern headquarters for Little League Baseball. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
So
so that
like,
you got the kids and the dads
so
and
I'm in the
grandpas and
area.
that, yeah.
Exactly. So very, very big area for instruction. However, the travel ball side of it, we had kids coming from, 17 different
Mm.
states to play with
So
us.
was it like a mecca, and these kids would come in, and you'd be the big brand, and they'd want to train with the big brand? That's how it is.
Exactly,
That's
exactly, and
amazing, man. That's
exactly.
amazing. Good for you.
So as I was basically kind of generating some awareness, if you will. So
Right.
I didn't know what my business was going to be, right? I didn't have an A to Z strategy when I
Right.
started this. People ask me, "Did you always know that you were going to start a social media marketing company?" The answer to that is no. I just knew that whatever business I decided to launch, it would be that much easier to get off the ground if I had an audience base. So I've just focused on growing my personal brand, right? Kind of, going back to how big and important a personal brand is. I just focused on me. And so as I'm going through this
Mhm,
and
mhm.
growing 10,000 new followers per month for myself, I'm attracting a lot of attention, right? People are reaching out going, "Hey, can you help me do this for
Mm.
me and my brand?" And
Mhm, mhm,
so then the hustler side came back out of me. I said, "Of course I can. Give me
mm.
$5, $10, $20, $30." And what I would do is,
$5? What are you doing? $5? You get a $5 footlong and Subway, 2 tacos. Like, what's going on?
well,
$5.
the whole thing was, is I was like, it's not about the money. I got to show people value,
Dude,
right?
I
I
had a
got to get
guy call me
testimonies.
yesterday. I said it's 100 G's US, which is 140,000 Canadian. I said, no, 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 no. It's 100 grand, bro. Like, what are you doing with $5? You getting seriously like a ham sandwich for that?
I know, man. I know. But my whole mindset was, I need testimonies. I need to show value.
Okay,
I need to
this
even,
is strong
exactly.
in the testimony.
Boom. That's it, baby.
This
So
this guy's the guy.
I started small. I was like, I want to give people value. I want to prove the model across all niches,
Yeah.
not just my niche, right? And
Ooh.
so
Ooh.
what I was doing was I was taking these individuals and I was putting them in a Telegram chat group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so after 3 months, I realized I had over 100 people that I had thrown in this chat group, literally over 3 months. So I'm like, wow, there's value here. Look. I mean,
Right.
I have 100 people already, so we should probably trademark and start a business. And
Right.
that's kind of how it got launched. Now,
Damn.
I want to say here, I still had the full-time job through the end of 2017 when I launched this kind of as like a little side hobby slash gig. And then it wasn't until January 1, 2018 that I actually kind of said, okay, I'm done with baseball. I'm going in full
Mm-hmm.
force into this because,
Mm-hmm.
Social Revelation had basically performed more revenue than what the baseball job had done from March to
Wow.
December of 2017.
Okay. This is the part. This is the part I love. So your little agency thing is overtaking the baseball
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Okay. Now I want to hear, how does it become
Ready
a
to rock?
seven-figure
Ready to
player?
rock,
Because
baby?
this is what I came for. This is what I came for, bro. I got my
Teed it
gong
up.
mount ready.
We
Dude, let's
teed
turn
it
it up.
up.
Let's
All
turn it
right.
up.
So how it all started. I was jumping on the airplane. Okay. So I'm in Detroit, Michigan. I'm in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm out in LA. I'm in New York.
Is this for
I went,
baseball or is this for social?
no, this is social, baby. Now we're going to
Okay.
social revelation.
Ooh, we got
So
a
I'm,
little
I'm,
misty
oh
gong for that.
yeah, here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, feel that. Okay, yeah. So what's happening
There
now?
we go. So basically, I'm going to these agency owners, right? These
Right.
digital agency owners who don't offer the Instagram growth that I am offering. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm
How
coming
big are these
in.
agencies? How big are they?
These agencies, my largest one had over 250 clients a month. Okay,
Holy shit.
250 clients
And
a
what
month.
ticket? What ticket?
It was kind of mid ticket. It was mid sized, and by
So
mid
what
size
do you
I mean
call mid ticket?
anywhere.
Because I
Yeah.
call mid ticket to me is like 20,000. That's 10,000.
Okay.
I'm in the real estate game though. So to me,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Way different
$1 million
than social media.
isn't very
Nobody's
much
paying
money in real estate. Okay. So
exactly.
what are we talking? What do you think is mid ticket in social?
So in social media, we're talking anywhere from about $250 to $500 a month. So it's a
That's
recurring
mid
base.
ticket. That's mid
That's mid
ticket.
ticket. That's mid
Holy
ticket.
fuck,
That's mid
dude! I don't even
ticket.
want to get a bed for that sale. Oh my god.
Now
Uh,
you got to understand though volume of how many people need this. That you got to understand that
Okay,
there
so
is
what are
a
we selling for 200 to $500? Like that's some automated shit or some VA shit, please. Like,
Um,
come on.
it's more so controlling like your entire social strategy. So if
Wow.
you're wanting to get into 500, we can even have our people kind of go in and handle your content creation and
Okay.
posting for you, even for $500 a month.
Wow. I
Now,
was gonna say that's cheap, man. That's some cheap. What seems cheap to me because I know what I spent on social. And
That's
if I
why we
show
need to have a
people that,
conversation, because I guarantee you with your budget, I could have you growing at hundreds of thousands of
well,
followers.
you and I, we're going to do a test after this. We're going to do a call.
There you go.
We'll do a test. I'll throw some money at you, Ryan, and we'll go take you out for a spin. We'll see. You can pull down your pants and show if you got peas under there or bowling
There
balls.
we go. Let's roll, baby.
Maybe a couple oranges. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Let's go. I love it. I love the challenge.
Yeah, bro. Let's do it.
And when you're at 1 million followers, you'll come back on, create your own show just to shout me
bro,
out.
when we're at 1 million followers, we're going to steak.
Let's go, baby. All I'll say is this. March 2017, your boy had 1,300 followers, and I just broke 360,000 just on Instagram.
Okay, hold on. Let me wind up for that one. Oh, that wasn't very good. Hold on. We'll try it again. There we go. That was a little better. Sorry, I muted it there.
Add another 100,000 on Facebook.
You ever see Metallica? They do like this. It's like.
Yes, I do.
He's like clamping it. I can't do it yet. I've got to work my technique. So you're a what on Facebook?
So on Facebook, we have over 101,000, and then we have over 360,000 on Instagram. And I've worked with some major brands. Which
okay, so let's hear the high level strategy. Are you doing influencers? Are you doing ad spend? Are you doing just organic? What's your general play? You don't have to give away the secret or the farm, but the people at home, what's the general play from going for 1,300 followers to 360 something thousand, which is a good dude. That's a pro level play. I'm only at like 70,000 myself, like 69.2.
For sure. The biggest thing, man, honestly, and this is not to sound cliche, but just in terms of the clients we deal with, number one, man, you have to be very clear on your positioning. How do you want to be perceived? What is your end goal? Where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years? Because here's the reality, Stefan. If you're posting stuff all over the map, we live in a world now where, we have attention spans for like 7 seconds. Yeah. So if I come to your Instagram page and I tell people 3 seconds, if I don't know exactly who you are, what you do,
bro.
and what I can expect if I become a follower of your page in terms of value, if I don't know that within 3 seconds, you're doing a poor job on social media from your positioning perspective.
Bro, you know what?
Okay?
Dude, I feel like you're my brother. Like, we never met, but I got a book here in print. Money People, my original book. I sold 20,000 copies of this now.
It's awesome, man.
This motherfucker, Canadian bestseller is 3,000. So you can imagine this is not an official bestseller because we sell direct to the customers. But this thing actually says you got 3 seconds to make a first impression right in the book. In print from 2012.
This is ridiculous, man.
Bro, I feel like we're vibing here. Okay, so you got 3 seconds, then what happens?
So when you get there, I tell people, hey, you gotta understand that your bio is your resume, baby. It's your first impression, right? When a lead comes to your page.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna whether we want them to or not, they are gonna draw a conclusion about you from your bio, from your AKA resume within 3 seconds. Okay, so you need to know very clear and concise, how do you want to be perceived? Okay, that's number one. Once you get there, number two, your content strategy and the content that you're putting out on your page needs to align with that position. Okay,
now I got to pause you for a sec because I own a little baby agency we just started. And what you're saying right now, I believe, is the key to branding. This is like the fit of whatever your positioning is and your message and that internal dialogue of the client and the customer. If you can match those two things, you're going to win.
That's it.
Guess what? If those two things don't match up, it's like going on a date. I said this to one of my guys the other day. I said, if you go on a date and you say, hi, I'm a really horny young dude. Can you please have sex with me? I mean, that's going to work on probably 0% of women, right? 1%.
Right, exactly.
1%, maybe if you just keep saying that, eventually some swamp critter will find you. And
a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Right? But yeah, exactly. And a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Yeah.
So that's just whatever. But I said, it's real interesting. I've been a single guy for a long time. I'd go out and I said to this one of the young guys, I said, when you go on Tinder and you're swiping through the profiles, I said, every single girl, it says, I don't want to hook up. But then people end up hooking up anyways. And I said, if you go and you talk to her and you say, look, I'm tired of hooking up. I just want to find a person who's for real. I'm for real. And I've just had enough of this and blah, 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 blah. That's the exact internal dialogue of what she put in her bio. And guess what? You probably are tired of hooking up because you're on Tinder too. And it is, I put on my profile back then, which is shut down. I put, I'm trying to find God by staring into the mouth of hell. Because that's what that thing is, the mouth of hell. But at the end of the day, the internal dialogue must match the client's internal dialogue. So
100%.
you have to say whatever you have to give them what they're trying to buy versus what you want to sell. And there's a disconnect there. It's funny. Like I have a course behind me here called the 100K Challenge. That's the course. Well, when we named it 100K Challenge, it was a multi six-figure seller right out of the gates. But when we had four names before, and it didn't sell at all. In fact, one of the names we gave it negative 43,000 in sales. Like it actually was the biggest tire fire ever, and it's amazing. It's just a name, exactly the same course, and all we did was change the name, and it sold like hotcakes.
Wow.
Because it matched the dialogue
exactly
of what the people wanted.
Perceived value, man. That's it. Perceived value. It has to align.
And you know what, dude? That's something everybody has to take home and just bottle it, because that's like the real meat. Like that is
exactly
sick stuff, but it's high level. Not everybody gets it, and you often have to hire a specialist or some smart branding person to figure that out. Okay, bro. So keep going.
Yeah. So, once you get there, and for me, you got to have consistency. So, and we're talking specifically Instagram, because I'm kind of known as an Instagram expert. Matter of fact, I just dropped a course on Instagram Mastery January 1. Okay.
What are you selling it for? What does it sell for, bro? Let's just pump you up a bit.
So right now for this show, for these people, it's usually $9.97, baby, but we're going to give them 50% off. We're going to sell it for $4.97, baby.
Damn, I like that. I like that. Just for these people, so you mean everyone else is getting screwed if they're not on this show?
Pretty much. I'm sorry.
Okay, good. Well, I like that. I like my listeners to have a deal. So, I don't even get a piece of that. Maybe we should do an affiliate deal, but I don't get a piece of that. That's his money. Okay. So Ryan, okay, you got a course on this. That's awesome. Now, next thing. So we got the brand, we got the fit. Keep going. Tell me what happened.
Yeah. So check this out. So once we know how we want to be positioned, once we get our bio cleaned up, okay, and we know kind of where we want to go, and we know that our content needs to align, we got to be consistent with this strategy. I tell people, okay, you need to at least post on Instagram, okay, because that's kind of my field of expertise, once a day, at bare minimum 3 times a week.
Boom.
Okay? There's a value bomb.
Dude, I'm doing twice a day right now.
Hey, there you go. Kudos.
Is that better? Is twice a day better, or is once?
Depends on your following. Again, it's in the course. You should go check it out.
Well, what's interesting too. So I want to ask you an Instagram question, because we're the Instagram expert. So sometimes I get a piece, we put up a 60-second video. It's hot on Instagram. Okay. Should I post another piece of it, or should I let it just ride till it dies?
Well, again, you got to understand that your stories are 15 seconds. So usually, like with my video guy, what we do is like, so for instance, when I get this video, this MP3 file, whatever, and send it to my video guy.
We're going to send you some stuff. Yeah,
okay? For sure. And we'll cut up myself, and I'll obviously give to you guys for repurposing, but my video guy, he'll throw it on, he'll create a YouTube version. We have templates and all created. And then he cuts it down into minutes, like you said. So we'll have a 1-minute Instagram post. We'll have a 1 minute we can put on IGTV, and then he'll break it down into 15-second Instagram stories with whatever message it is that we're trying to get out there.
Swipe up, bro. Get the course,
baby.
When you're like, bro, this course is only for you guys. $9.97. Let's go. You get the course. 5 stars. Exactly.
There you go. Officialmasterycourse.com for those who are interested.
Is that the name of it? Official Mastery?
So it's the website is Official Mastery.
That's a good website. Official Mastery. What did it cost you to get that domain? That's a good domain.
It wasn't a lot. It was actually maybe $13. You gotta know how to
good,
hustle.
Man. Wow, good for you, man. That's good.
Yeah.
What's the most you ever spent on a domain? Let's play that game for a sec.
For me, I'll take it a step further. What's the most I ever spent to get my Instagram username at Ryan White?
Oh, dude, I was gonna say that's not cheap. How much, man? Let's go.
It's actually kind of funny. You'll like this. So when I went, so here was
I'm loving it, bro.
And I know he's gonna listen to this because he hit me up on a DM today. So check this out.
He's trying to buy his name back.
He tried to buy it back. So when I went to this kid's 16 years old, by the way.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. And I said, hey man, how about $100 for that name? Well,
no.
Well, I had here's the reality. I was at 100,000 followers, right? So I knew that if I reached out to this kid, I knew that he was going to try to charge me thousands of dollars.
Right, because you look like a big whale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I went to my friend, and I said, hey, man, I need you to do something for me. I need you to reach out to this kid and go to bat for my behalf.
Dude, I knew you were a gangster. I knew.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I gave him the story, the script, everything. Okay.
Oh, what a gangster. So you're a fucking gangster. I'll put my gangster sunglasses on to hear this. Let's go, bro.
So we basically go on there, and we say, hey, man, listen, we basically buy and flip Instagram usernames all the time. You have a very common, name. I can make you, a few $1,000s. Basically, if you sell this to us, are you interested? And the dude's like, man, if you can really make this happen, I'm all in. He goes, how about, you pay me like $2,500 or something. And my dude says, how about 150? And he goes, how about $200 and you throw in a pair of tennis shoes? And I was like, dude, I'm not trying to get a pair of tennis shoes. Are you kidding me? The kid's 16. He's not hustling the hustler, right? So then we countered. I got the username for $200, my man. $200.
God, for Ryan White, the most
for at Ryan White.
name?
Yeah, the most American name. So $200. So I get the name.
Negotiation.
So I get the name, and now I've scaled it to 360. I've been in Forbes. I've been on television, and he hits me up this morning going, hey, man, I sold this name to your boy. You think I could get it back? And I was like, bro.
So what'd you charge? What'd you offer him? You like 250 G's or what?
I was like, well, here's the reality, man. Because I bet on me. I believe on me all day.
Of course, man. That's what all the hustlers do. Yeah.
So here's the reality. There's no amount of money you can put on this. You know what Ryan White's going to take that name and go make over the next 5 to 10 years?
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, you can't
afford this name, brother.
Oh, man.
And so
dude, hold on. Let me ask this. Did you fucking buy one of his kidneys too, or what? Like, did you trade a kidney for an iPod, you savage?
Actually, no, man. What's crazy, man, is when I even read the message, he got one of these. You know what that is? That's a swipe and delete, brother.
Yeah,
that's a swipe and delete. So if he's listening in on this and you saw that I did not read the message, the reality is, man, you never made it out of my request, and I apologize for that.
Ryan, I got to say this. Moment of silence for this for a moment, just to respect it.
Let's take 5.
Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do some gangster shit.
Hit the gong.
Dude, the gong died. You just killed the gong, man. We don't got any more.
Knocked it over, man.
Now get this, fuck the mic. We'll go a cappella. Like that's a mic drop right there.
Boom.
That's the most gangster thing I've ever heard somebody do to a kid on Instagram. I don't know whether I should laugh or cry, but good for you. I mean, dude, so domain, what's the most you ever paid for a domain?
Most I've ever paid for a domain was probably $300 or something like that. Nothing crazy.
Wow. What domain was that? Because mine is $2,500 is the most I ever paid. But I was kind of a dumbass. And now I pay about $1,000 for the good ones, but
oddly enough, man, because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you actually go Google Ryan White, you're going to see there was a famous kid back in the 90s who died of AIDS. He actually changed.
And you wiped his name from history, you gangster.
So I had, official Ryan White. I mean, naturally, because Google sees this guy as like a George Washington type figure. I tried to buy officialryanwhite.com, which is my website. There was a premium on it because of this kid.
Oh no. So you paid $300 for official Ryan White?
officialryanwhite.com.
Yeah, that's a lot of letters for $300. So like the one I paid the most for ever was $2,500 US, which is like $1 million Canadian because I'm Canadian. And it was respectthegrind.com.
I could see that.
The grind. And it's because there was clothing lines and a bunch of rappers named Respect the Grind and stuff. But we have the Respect the Grind podcast.com, which is this website. And then Respect the Grind is a merch store. But I'm killing that brand because I've got, dude, listen to this. We just rebranded as Black Card. As we speak, I have my realtor text me. I'm buying the Black Card mansion, kind of like the Playboy mansion. It looks like the fucking White House, but I'm painting it black. So it's the Black House and the Black Card mansion. And we're Black Card University officially. And the website I have for this, I'll flip it over, blackcardu.com. I got that for $9 fucking dollars. Boom.
Sometimes the best names, man, you can find the hidden gems in there if you look.
I'm taking the glasses off because it's too dark. But man, that is, you're right, for a gem, $9.99 for blackcardu.com. And I'm buying the Black House right now, like the White House. And we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do a reality show in there, like an Instagram reality show.
Dude, I've never been to Canada, but I plan to go. So there you
should come to the Black House. I think we're gonna do a couple like Playboy Mansion parties. We're gonna do a Halloween party, invite a bunch of girls, and I think you need a Black Card to get in. So either a Black Card membership or like a Black Card. And yeah, man, I mean, I just put this together in the last couple of days. Like literally 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? I think we should get a mansion, and this is an off-market mansion. I'm a real estate guy, so.
Yeah, we might have to do some business there too, man, because I've been told by my CPAs and accountants that I need to be looking into some real estate properties.
Dude, well, you know what? You're American, so you get 40% premium right now. So if you buy like a $1 million property here, it's like $600,000 for you. And guess what? When oil goes back up, when it goes back up to like 100, 120 a barrel, the U.S. and Canadians going to go back on par. So even if you suck at real estate, you just have to buy something at 40% discount with your currency. You could buy it just totally retarded. buy something right now and just wait till the oil goes back up. And when the oil goes back up, you make 40%. So, it's probably going
There
to
you go.
be, if I think we're going to have a war pretty soon. So if that happens, oil is going to go way back up and you will make 40-50% overnight, but get some of that
Wow.
cash flows, bro. Yeah, man. Real estate,
That's
especially
what's up.
like I'm doing the opposite right now. I'm trying to sell American clients because I want 40% premium on my ad spend. Right. So it's,
Gotcha.
I'm trying to bring in American money, and you should be trying to invest American money in weak currency,
Okay.
because the Canadian currency is, it's like the American dollar's bitch. It's bitch currency. And you guys would never have to invade us. You just have a 40% premium. So why would you ever invade, right? We're
Right.
freaking slaves with the currencies. But dude, it's incredible. If you can find some Canadian real estate, and actually Winnipeg, where I live, cash flow is super good. It's like Indianapolis. It's like, it was the Detroit of North America before Detroit was Detroit.
Okay.
And so it cash flows like crazy over here. Actually, I got some buddies in Sarnia, Ontario. You should check that place out too. That
I
place
gotcha.
cash flows retarded cash flow, man.
How
But
far? How far is where you're at from Detroit? I've been to Detroit.
so Sarnia, literally, which I just mentioned, is like right across the water from Detroit. So
So that's the Canadian flag I saw. Then I saw that.
probably, bro. I mean, like, it's right there. Like, the border is there, and you just drive over to Detroit. And I have students in Sarnia, and they're all millionaires, these guys. I have three,
Wow.
4, 5 of them. They're all millionaires in Sarnia, London, Sarnia, whatever, because the cash flow there, it's spillover from Toronto, which is like the New York of Canada. And all
Okay.
that money is spilling over into London, Sarnia, whatever. And it's crazy, man. The cash flow there is ridiculous. Like, one of the properties, just to get property for a moment, one of the properties one of my guys owned, it was a townhouse. He bought it for 100 grand or 140, and he rents it for $3,000 a month. I'm like, what?
That's
Furnished?
crazy.
I'm like,
Wow.
bro, my condo in Winnipeg, one of them, I'm out of town. I rent it for 3,500 a month furnished. This thing's a fucking 1,900 square foot waterfront with doormen and valet parking. I rent it for 3,500. This guy's got a shit ass townhouse he's renting for $3,000 a month in buttfuck Sarnia. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on? These guys are
Yeah.
printing money over here. It's printing.
Yeah.
And then guys come from America over and they get 40% discount because of the currency. So you can get that thing
Yeah.
for now, oh my God, what is it, like 60 grand, and it makes 3,000 Canadian a month? Like,
That. Yeah.
what?
That's what I
Dude,
need
that's
to
like a
hop on.
50% return.
Yeah. That's
That's
what I
like,
need to hop on.
oh my
I
God.
need my Benjamin Franklins to make Benjamin Franklin babies from me.
Well,
Okay.
it's
That's
like,
where I'm
dude,
at.
you take Benjamin Franklin over here, your hundo, it's like 140 right now. And so, like,
Wow.
I got 820,000 on my board here I have to spend right now the next 60 days. A lot of American vendors, and I'm pissed because I have to spend 820,000 cash in the next, this is cash, not debt, in the next 60 days. And I'm pissed about it because I hate paying 40% premium. I just hate it for
Right.
no reason, right?
Yeah.
And then the reverse is fun. When I get an American client, I'm very happy. So,
Of course.
it's really interesting how it's a double-edged sword. So I'm saying, dude, if you can go up to Canada, you should play the game in Canada and you can crush. Like, your currency, just bring it in. You're a genius in 1 second.
That's what's up. Yeah. We'll have to talk, man, and we will. We will. You
Yeah,
got
you
myself.
come down to the mansion, dude. We're gonna close in, like, we're looking at 90 days. I'm negotiating right now. My guy's coming down to pick up a check so we can buy it. And I got the financing earlier today, so we're buying this mansion, and I think we're gonna make an epic show. Black
That's
Card
what's up.
Mansion. Yeah,
That's what's
bro.
up.
That's what's up, bro. Okay,
That's
anyways,
the.
now look, you're freaking great, Ryan. I love you, man. I love your story. I love how you grew to multi-millions in the agency game. Dude, you're a bona fide certified hustler. I got to give you an honor gong. That's
I
just sick.
appreciate it.
Just honor, just straight honor. I really appreciate having the show. I got to run you through. No, Trent, what are we doing for time? Are we tight? We're tight. Okay, so I got to wrap it up, man. Let me ask you some of these questions I ask everybody because it's just fun. Okay, so
Okay.
Ryan, we're gonna go quick, rapid fire, and
What you
give me,
got?
like, first thing comes to mind. So don't think about too much. You're a commander. You're not gonna think too much. So if you go back to the beginning, young Ryan White, age 15, 16 years old, what's a piece of advice you give yourself?
For sure, man. Just get started earlier. Again, we all have reservations. We all come from
Mm,
different walks of life, but the reality is you don't need a perfect A to Z plan to get started. It's in the act of doing itself
mhm.
where the stars tend to align and you'll land where you're supposed to land.
Man, I love that. It's like the obstacle is the way. The
That's it,
obstacle is
man.
the way. When I
That's
was
it.
16, I wanted to drop out of school and become a vacuum salesman, but I never did, and I regret it. All right, okay, next one. Top 3 books that changed your life.
For sure. So 10X by Grant Cardone.
Great book.
Millionaire Mindset by Grant. Those were the first two, changed my
Yeah,
life.
Millionaire Mindset. Is that an old one?
Um,
I haven't seen that one.
I think it's his very first one. I think it's
Oh
his very
shit! So
first one.
that's old. I didn't even know he
Yeah.
had a book called Millionaire Mindset.
Yeah,
Okay, what's the
Millionaire
third one?
Mindset was my very first one. 10X Rule after that. Obviously,
Yep.
those two changed my life. That was one of my first kind of glance into entrepreneurship.
Yep.
And then Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which we all know.
Yeah, that's money. That's money. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. I dig it. Grant is that guy's hitting hard right now.
Yes, he is.
Now, next one for you. What is the one thing that young people need to succeed these days? So the young kids, young 17, 18-year-olds. What do you say to these kids, 16, 17, 18? What's the one thing they need to succeed these days?
Number one, man, you got to have a positivity flow into your life. You know,
Ooh,
we all through osmosis have to learn new things somehow, right? So if you're not listening to a podcast or an audio book every day, then there's no way that you're gonna, be able to change the behaviors in your life in order to reflect the behaviors that are needed in the success formula, right? Because everything in life has a formula, right? If you want to lose weight, it is proven. Do A, B, and C, and you'll get X, Y, and Z. It's the same thing can be said for success. So in order, part of that formula, right, in success is you have to have a positivity flow into your life. And so it's this whole idea that, and I'll take it a step further, kind of quoting Ed Milet on his podcast, but, on a cellular level, my man.
Also a champion, yes.
Also a champion. But, he talks about how on a cellular level, even as me and you are sitting here, literally hundreds of thousands of cells are dying and replenishing and becoming better with every second that goes by. I think, we actually reproduce 10% of our exoskeleton literally every year. Every 4 days, our digestive tract, replenishes itself as well. So the whole idea is your body's constantly, basically changing. So, and even as kids, when we're 4 years old, we're not the same person at 5 years old that we were at 4. Why? Because we are put in an environment, right? We are forced to learn new things, shapes, colors, alphabet, geometry, history. And it's through that information in which we are able to adapt and become better versions of ourselves. But at some point, he talks about how for a lot of people, they can't wait to get out of high school. They can't wait to get out of college or med school. And so at like 19, 20, 21 years old, life happens and people stop placing importance on personal development and obtaining new information. And so when that happens, we stall in our personal development and our growth as individuals. And we look back 20, 30 years later and we're stuck.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Especially at like 30, 35. You see people, they do go to school, get a job, and all of a sudden they're like, oh no, I got to go to Stefan Aarnio's real estate seminar now because it didn't work. The taxes are too high. Or I got to start an agency, bro. I got to take Ryan White's course. Dude, that's totally how it is. 30 to 35. It's like, man. Shit, I was lied to, but it took them 35 years to figure it out.
That's right. And the reality is, man, if you got to always be seeking new information. You got to buy into the process of lifelong learning. And so for me, it's literally positivity flow every day into your life.
I got to ask, because you know what? Really easy to say what you said there. Number one tip, just super short, less than a sentence or a couple words. How does somebody slip into the positivity mode? Because it's easy to say, hard to do.
100%. So again, mentor once told me that, we will make time for the things we deem most important. Okay. There you go. So for me, you got to have a morning routine. You go research every successful person. They all have a morning routine. So for me, if I know that if I can control the first 30 minutes of my day and the last 30 minutes of my day, the middle part, I feel pretty in control as well. Okay. So it's this idea that if I wake up and I spend, some time on the personal development side, right? If I give myself some time, then it's this whole idea that, I wake up and control my day versus waking up and letting the day control me.
Right. Well, you're grabbing the bull by the horns.
Exactly.
I love that. And Ryan, we are totally out of time, man. I really, really love this interview. I cherish our time together. I think it's absolutely tremendous. How can people get in touch with Ryan White? I know we hinted at it earlier, but why don't we just tell them straight up, how can they get in touch with Ryan White?
For sure, brother. So my personal website is just officialryanwhite.com. And then, of course, on Instagram at Ryan White.
Damn, you know what the next level is? Here's the next level. I got StefanAarnio.com. My mom gave me a fucked up Finnish name, which nobody owns except for one other guy. And the next level is I want Aarnio.com. But the guy in Finland won't sell it to me. So the next level for you is you got to get white.com.
Yeah, well, I take it a step further. You know, once
How about
my
just
fiance and I
W?
get married, with the White House, baby, I'm gonna
Oh,
be the
dude,
White House.
you get the White House, and I got the
Hey,
Black House, and
call.
we
That's
got a
it. There's a
party.
business. There's a business there, brother. Listen, when you
Bro,
call me, my answer machine's gonna say, "Welcome to the White House."
welcome to the White House, ladies and gentlemen. Respect the grind with Stefan Aarnio. Ryan White, thanks so much for being on the show. Honor gong at the end.
Appreciate you for having me, brother.